Since 1977, Volcompass has been a national leader in the sales and rental of pro audio, video, AV, and lighting equipment. With over 600 top brands and $10 million in inventory, Volcompass is one-stop shopping.
Stewart Film Screen announces contemporary cabaret screens for multimedia installations. With features that are installer-friendly, including choice of motors and easy setup adjustments from the screen's housing front. Stewart Film Screen is also introducing Ambient Shade, a window treatment product that controls sunlight in commercial and residential applications.
Welcome back to Sound and Communications Viewpoint. Once again, I'm Dan Shoman with Masque Sound. I'm joined by Jonathan Shor of McCann Systems. We've been talking about primarily employee acquisition. I'd like to transfer a little bit into the training mode. Specifically, what do you guys do to train people and get them up to speed?
Well, that's a very good question, and I think it's something that's very challenging in our industry when you think about like how busy you can get.
Right.
And it's like that's the first thing that always kind of gets pushed off to the wayside. Yep. Like, okay, well, we had a training schedule, but now we need our guys to be able to go out in the field. So one of the first things is to truly dedicate time for training, whatever it might be. And what we've tried to do is, once a month, we mandate that everybody's getting some type of training. So we've developed a schedule, a mass, schedule for everybody company-wide for training, and then also even individual sheet for each person to say what have they received already.
Right.
Where it could be, as basic as soldering and or communications, how to set up a communication network, to higher level audio DSP programming. Crestron programming. We do in-house training, but we also send people out for training.
What do you do for sending people out?
Well, our manufacturers love to give training because that means that in some ways their product is getting more reinforced within our company. Yep. So they know that if we're sending somebody up to a projection company to learn how to converge projectors, or if we're sending somebody out to learn how to do audio DSP programming, that they're going to have more of a position within our company. So I think that it helps a lot, and relying on them. They're paying for the training. Sometimes they even pay for the hotel and the food. And
I agree with you 100%. We actually send people out for training as well. Any of our employees who are interested in pursuing a college education, we pay for half, and they also get half of that. Some of our employees will get half of that reimbursed from our local trade unions or other entities within the industry.
Even if it's not related to.
It's
if somebody's going for law or something like that, they're going to get.
We want to be geared to the industry.
Right.
However, if somebody just wants to take classes to get a bachelor's degree, even in just general studies, I think anytime someone wants to pursue learning, it shows their capacity to absorb some of that. I personally was put through the MBA program at Rutgers by my business, which worked out really well. So
I guess they found somebody that they wanted to bring into a certain position, rather than bringing somebody in new that there might have been a trust factor or familiarity with the company.
Correct.
Better to bring somebody up and give them that education. That's great.
It's I find it very beneficial within the realm of retention, which we'll talk about later for sure. One other question that I really was interested in, as far as the whole training portion of your company, is you were talking about a specific set of tasks or concepts that you want people to be trained in.
Criteria. Right.
How many of those do you have?
It's a
20,
ever-growing
50?
list.
Okay.
And it's something that we just instituted recently, and this has to do with. It's not only just a training, but it goes into the employee understanding their value to the company, understanding where they could possibly go. And what we developed is a set of skill sets.
Right.
And they're not all just technical. Obviously some are technical. Do they know audio? Do they know gain structure?
Right.
Do they know how to blend a projector? But some of it's also just personal traits. Do they have a sense of responsibility? Do they have a sense of pride? Do they run their job site efficiently, cleanly? Are they organized? Do
you find that your employees with that actually will push to get trained in more areas?
Yeah, I think if anything, when we get busy in the past, where we had maybe bouts or droughts, I should say, of no trainings, the employers would complain about that, because we would try to have monthly meetings with the technicians and say, hey, here's what we've seen. It's also a big thank you session.
Right.
But what do you guys have issue with with our company and what you've seen? It was always, we want more training. So,
gotcha.
But I think getting back to the skill set, it's a way to really have them understand, this is where you are in the company. This is like a sort of rating, coming up with an average.
Yep.
Of, here's your personal skill sets, here's your technical skill sets, here's the trainings you had. So here's where you can see what your value is, and then where you can grow to.
Got
so it becomes a real tactile thing, as opposed to just, well, you had a good year, you learned a couple things.
Gotcha.
We also, in the same classification, give the ability to put project status. So we'll go to a project manager and say, how was this person on a project, to kind of give an update. So
not to interrupt, but we're coming to the end of our time for this segment.
Okay.
We'll be back in 2 weeks to continue this discussion, go in further detail. Thanks for watching Sound and Communications Viewpoint.